Good morning, and welcome to the What Inspired Me Today podcast, a podcast created to inspire you to be the very best that you can be. My name is Stephen Matthew, and this is what inspired me today. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. It is an honor and a privilege to be speaking with you this morning. I'm not going to lie, my body has taken a little bit of time to readjust to Michigan weather coming from Phuket, Thailand. In Thailand, we had 30-degree weather with humidity, and then here in Michigan, we've come back and it's still the deep freeze, with some of the days this week being minus 20 degrees or more. And so it's taken a little bit of an adjustment, but at least at the time of recording right now, when I look out the window, it is a gorgeous, beautiful winter's day. So remember to value the sunshine as much as you can when you get it. The quote that I wanted to share with you is something that I saw this week, and the quote is actually addressed to a specific group of people, but I want to make it applicable to everyone, because in reality, it is something that we can all take into consideration and something that we can cultivate in our own lives as well. So the quote isn't attributed necessarily to a specific person. It was made by an account online, and it says this: "Dear artists, remember that the opposite of depression is not joy, it is expression. So create, 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 for it is the soul's medicine." What I wanted to share with you this week was to encourage you all, no matter what walk of life you are, no matter what job you have, no matter what is going on, to take time out of your day or out of your week. This doesn't have to be a large amount of time, but to engage in something that cultivates a sense of creativity in you. I've spoken a little bit about creativity, particularly in the workplace before, but what I wanted to share with you is how that creativity can then help you improve in your own life. When we think about creativity, it doesn't just need to be confined to the traditional mediums of artistic expression. So that doesn't just mean that it's only relegated to paintings or drawings or something artistic in that way. Rather, we can make creativity as part of our daily life. It isn't just relegated to those artistic mediums. In fact, Brené Brown, she says that the only unique contribution that we'll ever make in the world will be born out of our own creativity. We are all unique. We are all interested in our own things, and we have our own perspectives that we can share. So creativity can be expressed in any which way that we would like to. So, for example, one way that I express creativity is through this podcast. Now, this might not seem like a normal creative endeavor, but it does take a little bit of time for me to create things, to actually even string words together. I'm not necessarily typing up an entire script or anything, but to at least think about concepts and ideas every single week in order to share with you, finding quotes that relate to that, and then expressing something and creating something is my way of expressing that creativity, because I have grown up as a speaker. I've grown up as a preacher, and so the art of storytelling through communication is how I express creatively. For some of you, you might be into music. You might be into drawing or painting. You might be into making really good Excel spreadsheets. That doesn't sound creative per se, maybe to me. However, when something is really well organized and everything has its own place, that might be a way for you to creatively express yourself. And that creative expression is important. It's what makes us human. It's what gives us the ability to be able to show ourselves and to express ourselves in the best way that we know how. That is why things like AI is really difficult, and there's a lot of controversy around it. Because yes, I can, for example, for myself, I might not be able to draw or paint or anything very well. However, I can maybe write in prompts of something that I'm imagining in my head and then have something else create it. However, it's missing that human element. And it's that human element that really brings things to life. It's what gives things meaning and gives it a soul. So, as an example for you, one of my friends, Lane, he has been writing and producing, along with the help of many other people surrounding him and the project, a radio drama that's going to bring some of his writings to life. I am constantly inspired by that because what's happening is that you're getting a collective movement of people that is working creatively in order to bring something to life. So, when we talk about creativity, it doesn't just mean it's relegated only for artists, it is for everyone. Remember that the opposite of depression is not joy, it is expression. So, create and create and create, for it is the soul's medicine. As we create, as we share, as we give bits of ourselves into the works that we do, we actually make the world a better place. So, how can we cultivate creativity? Number one, find what makes you creative. Find the things that make you creative, that allows your brain to think and to express and to go outside of its normal bounds. When we have that, it is important to remember not to limit your own self. So remember when you go, hey, this might not be something other people like, it doesn't matter if other people don't like it. Because as long as you're creating for yourself, then it brings value to the world. We often talk, especially in the world now, what is the value proposition? What are the metrics that we are meeting? How much money are you making out of it? If you are doing something creative, it doesn't necessarily have to have anything else attached to it. However, for some people, if they can make money and if they can make a living off their creativity, that is just amazing as well. So find things that make you creative. What sparks joy in your own life? When we do that, then we can start creating. Now, once we do that, remember not to hold on to comparison. I might not be, and I know this for a fact, I might not be the best podcaster. I might not be the greatest communicator. I might not be the best drawer or animator or producer. I might not be the best writer in the world. That doesn't matter. I'm trying to produce out of my own passion and joy for actually doing it. So when I do create something, when I do put this out there, and here's another podcast out of the billions that are out there, it doesn't matter that there are billions of other podcasts out there. I'm just creating for myself out of this. So don't let comparison take a hold when you are creating. There will always be bigger fish in the ocean. There will always be more things out there. We don't have to be the best. We are just creating for ourselves. And then finally, this seems a little bit counterintuitive, but schedule your creativity. You don't have to be creative all the time. You don't need to be creating things every single minute out of every single day, but take some time every day or every week just to create something. Now, this can be as simple as doodling, right? You might have done this back in the day in school when you're in a maths class and you're a little bit bored and then you're doodling on the side of your page. But actually intentionally creating some time to create will then allow you to create more, because it's this ongoing self-fulfilling prophecy. As you continue to create, you will create more. And when we do that, we're actually allowing ourselves the ability to feel satisfaction, to feel fulfillment when we actually create within a certain time-bound period. So, for example, every week, I take a little bit of time to record. And with that little bit of time of recording, afterwards, I'm going to have to take some time to then edit all of this, right? At the end of that, I have a finished product that I can then put out and publish to the world. Is it going to be perfect? No. Is it going to be good enough? Yes. And at the end of that, on a Monday morning, when I post to the different social media platforms for this podcast, I have the satisfaction knowing that I have just produced a product, not for sales per se, but out of my own passion to be able to put out into the world. So, in the unfortunate case that eventually one day I pass away, in the world there will be something that I produced, something that I created from my own passion in order to inspire other people that is out there. That is the value of creativity. It doesn't have to be something high and mighty. It doesn't have to be something that's polished and perfect. It is something that we bring out of our passion for whatever it might be. Remember, creativity does not look the same for all of us. It's going to look different for each and every single one of us because each and every single one of us are unique. So, I wanted to encourage you this week to pursue something or to look for something that inspires you, to pursue that and to make something within a short period of time. It doesn't need to be major, it doesn't need to be big. But as you allow your creative self to make something, as you allow your creative self to produce something, as you allow your creativity to flow, it will have beneficial effects throughout the rest of your life. So with that said, have a great week.